beautiful day for vlogging. So nice out here, pleasant, sunny day. Usually, I mean, lately it's been raining every day. And I'm gonna miss this very nice, sunny nature day. Andrew's getting his food to go because he's sick. It's officially Monday. Andrew and I are sick. We think we're sick from the house because of allergies or mold or something. So we've decided to spend the day in Denpasar, which is like an hour and a half away. We decided to drive down there and just spend the day there and see what happens with our congestion. And like, it's just really strong. Like I've been coughing. Andrew's been even worse. Like, okay, anyways, goodbye. See you on the road. We finally got here to Living World. Andrew's parking his bike. And it was actually a really, really nice motorbike ride. We listened to music and beautiful views, scenery. I wish I could take out my phone and film it for you guys, but I just don't want to be unsafe. But just really, really nice views. Oh, I love Bali. I love how pretty this place is. This is just like a parking lot. It's a parking lot. It's so beautiful. It's really like, Bali is so magical. And there is our sexy man getting off the motorcycle, getting stuff. Oh yeah. Slow-mo walking here. So nice. It's like Disneyland. So this mall is called Living World. Wow, that's like a whole stage. There's like ice cream truck. It's like a carnival out here. Just get iced drinks and stuff. Babe, this is a really cool find.
All I wanted to do was buy a fan, and I ended up having to drive all the way here and come to this.
Oh, this is where you got the fan, yeah? For the house?
It's like the fanciest Ace Hardware I've ever seen in my life.
Wow. Babe, that outfit looks good. Would you wear that?
Sure.
For our wedding? Wear that for our wedding.
Oh, do you want to get your shawl?
Should I put on my shawl?
Do you want me to? Or no? You don't have to.
I feel a little bit like hot.
Okay.
But if it, like inside, I'll probably put it on because it's this outfit too Ubud-esque.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm wearing like a sleeveless outfit. Wow, it smells so good. Yeah, so Denpasar is a little bit different than Canggu or Ubud, where we have been, because Denpasar is more locals, Indonesians from Java, who tend to be more Muslim. So they're just more conservative. They're going to dress more conservative. Wow, that's a cute skirt. The long one. Yeah, it's mostly locals. That's cool. It's not very touristy, like, or, I mean, I should say, it's not very expat Western. Yeah.
It's just us.
Yeah. Oh, are you in the mood of like a nice ice cold drink?
Maybe at some point.
Crispy donut. Wow, it's gorgeous in there. It's so nice in there. Wow. All ready for Christmas. So interesting that they have so much Christmas decoration. I think Christmas is now a worldwide thing. Like in Iran, they decorate the streets and they do Christmas choirs and stuff like that. Like, how interesting is that? Oh, look at that. It's all because of America. I think, right? Like, America invented Christmas, right?
No.
So who invented Christmas? America invented Christmas because...
They have invented Santa Claus. But I don't think Christmas.
Santa Claus is like the king of Christmas.
I think we're missing a few key details.
Now I'm gonna get a Christmas lesson. Or I will have to do some Christmas training.
There's this other guy. His name was Jesus. The Robinson like him very much. He's the OG.
Jesus Cristo.
Jesus Cristo. See?
See? Starbucks. And Foot Locker. Wow, it's like we're in Dallas. We're in the like Ace Hardware store in this mall, and there's just everything. It's just like being in a furniture store in the States. Andrew is really excited to be here. Yeah, what would you put in a safe box this big? It's a giant safe box. Bathroom. Kids. Alright, so this place is basically Disneyland. It's like a whole arcade. There we go, Disneyland Part 2. Woo. This is our fruit salads and the chicken. Yeah, thank you so much. Wow, that's a chicken steak. Okay. So I think the general consensus is that leaving Ubud is not helping our throat and congestion problems. So maybe it's not allergies.
Who knows?
Or it might still be allergies, seasonal allergies in Bali. But it's not limited to our house, so that's interesting. So now we're just having our Starbucks drinks and just chilling a little bit. Still very nice to have this day in another town and enjoy ourselves. At the mall at night. So we bought a bunch of stuff for our noses, throats. I got cough drops and vitamins, stuff like that. We're gonna try it out, see if it works. All right, so here we have this, the Benadryl. Oh, for a second I thought I left my bag. Have the iron. I'll take an iron poke that I didn't have today. And do you want to also do the nose drops? Yeah. Oops, sorry. Nose drops. And also, like, would it ruin it if you also took this cough drop or? Okay, fine. Like you should be a nose inhaler model.
I can post this on.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Ah, look at this. with our jamus. With our healthy food. My jacket matches.
To Google AI, the Roman Emperor Constantine is credited with inventing Christmas in 312 AD. Some speculate that Constantine chose December 25th to weaken the pagan holiday of Saturnalia.
So, did America invent the word Christmas?
I'll be right back.
America didn't invent Christmas, but maybe they invented the word Christmas.
I don't think you know. The earliest known use of the word Christmas was in 1038. It was a combination of the words Christus and Mass. Masis.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So, no, America did not invent Christmas.
What's up, y'all? It is December 31st. Today, it is December 31st on a Tuesday. This evening is New Year's. And I actually don't know if we're having belly dancing today. Maybe not. Maybe yes. I don't remember. But today is... tonight is when people get together and kiss for New Year's. So I'll ask Andrew what he wants to do, but we're actually sick, so I don't know. My friend invited us to something, but I don't think we're gonna go because we're both still sick, even though we're getting better. We got a bunch of allergy and medicine and like sinus clearing stuff yesterday in the pharmacy in Living World. And I've been thinking in anticipating the fact that we are about to visit my family in Israel. So I mentioned this in a previous video. In a few weeks, we're going to visit my family. And Andrew, he met my parents and one of my siblings, but it was very brief. And I have other siblings too. And they live in Jerusalem, in Israel. So I'm really excited and nervous that Andrew is going to meet the rest of my family. And I'm also nervous because I haven't been back in Jerusalem in 6 years. And it's going to be really different because I'm not religious compared to last time I was there. I just haven't been going to shul. I haven't been doing anything religious, and I have a big family. Like it might not just like I have a lot of family and family friends. Like I just have a lot of people that I grew up with that are very religious, and I almost feel like a different person now because I've just been out of it for so long. Like I literally forgot some people's names. Not my family members, like I remember obviously all my family members' names, like relatives and cousins and stuff. I have a giant family. But there's just so much that I literally forgot. I feel like a different person. I've forgotten things that I'm supposed to do. And I'm worried about, like I'm just anxious about like doing the right things, wearing the right things, not being embarrassing. And like this whole like not wanting to be embarrassing, not wanting to be a burden, it's just been always a theme in my life. When I first went off the derech, when I first like left the community, I had so many things that I was angry about, I was resentful about the frum community, about being religious, about my family, so many things that I was angry about, but I didn't feel like I could really talk about it with people, with anyone really, without feeling a tremendous amount of guilt as well, because I just feel like by me talking about the things that make me angry, I'm making other people look bad, or I'm making other people feel bad, and I didn't want to do that. In addition to being angry and upset and resentful, I don't want to also feel like a bad person. So the way that I got around that was I just left, and I just didn't. I tried to just not expose myself to it, and by not exposing myself to any of it, then I don't have to be exposed to all these bad feelings that I had about it, which then I wouldn't have to feel like a bad person by not being exposed to all these bad feelings that I had. So like years later, I'm going back to it and I'm like, okay, well, I got to dodge a lot of the negative feelings and anger and the resentment. I got to dodge a lot of that. I got to keep the peace. I have a good relationship with my family. I promise you guys, I have a good relationship with my family. It's like, there's literally no beef. Like, I don't have beef with my family. It's just, I also don't have a relationship with them so much because, like, by avoiding all the feelings, I also avoided the closeness and having a relationship with people in my family and in community and stuff like that. So, I mean, I don't really regret it per se, but it's more just like I'm realizing that this is a thing. And I was talking to one of my relatives yesterday who was telling me that like some of my family members, I mean, I have a huge family, extended family, and some of them watch my vlogs, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, and immediately my reaction was like, oh my gosh, like, am I being embarrassing? Like, I feel so embarrassed. Like, I know, like, they probably hate it. They probably think I'm causing, like, people in my family to lose marriage prospects. Like, I know I'm causing my siblings to lose marriage prospects because they have a sister that went off the derech and is, like, living in Indonesia and is doing all these things. Like, I don't know. I just remember how it was when I was there. And I mean, it's not going to make me change how I live my life, but of course I feel like a tremendous amount of guilt. And she said, actually, it really helps us. We really like it. And people that know me or are related to me, at least as far as I know of what I'm hearing, is that they like my vlogs, and it helps them, makes them feel good, makes them feel validated. You know, maybe they had a lot of the same feelings too, but they just didn't want to talk about it. And it just felt really nice to not feel very alone in, like, oh, if I feel these things, then there's something wrong with me, you know? Maybe I'm a little more sensitive, but maybe other people felt it too, and they just didn't feel comfortable to talk about it for the same reasons. So maybe I did everybody a favor by talking about it, which, you know, I still did it. Like, I feel like I still didn't talk a lot about it, but there's videos, if you look up in my old videos, there's videos where I talked about, like, dating in the community, in the religious community, dating, and about being in it, and about the way that, I don't know, things that I didn't like, but I just didn't, I didn't keep it up, because part of, like, my weirdness with the religious stuff, with talking about, so I grew up in an ultra-Orthodox community, Orthodox, Haredi, whatever you want to call it. I grew up in a frum community, and I was really resentful when I left, and I got into, like, you know, I started spending a lot of time on 4chan, and I started spending a lot of time in groups and in communities, political communities, that are very resentful of, like, Jews in general, and that's just how I was able to scratch the itch of going off the derech, because I just felt like within the Jewish community, there were so many things that I couldn't talk about. I felt very, like, if I talk about these things that bothered me as a person in the Jewish community, if I talked about things that bothered me, then I would immediately be treated like a bad person that is anti-Semitic or bad or whatever. And I immediately felt boxed in with those people. Even before I left, I felt immediately like, oh my gosh, the things that I think and feel, only the anti-Semites think and feel. So that's why I just immediately identified with people that were hanging out on 4chan. I mean, later I realized very quickly that a lot of people that hung out on 4chan were also Orthodox Jews that needed to vent. But in the beginning, you know, that's kind of how I scratched the itch of being able to talk freely and express my feelings. I mean, I think it's really important to express your feelings and to find a way to do that. That's how we stay sane. That's how you're healthy. That's why you don't get cancer and, like, diseases, like autoimmune diseases, you know? It's how you don't get long-term chronic issues. And also, most importantly, that's how you become prosperous and healthy and, like, you know, persevere in life, is when you, like, allow yourself to be your full self. Part of allowing yourself to be your full self is to release your feelings and think your feelings and think your thoughts and whatever. And proudly do that. And I just wasn't able to do that in the community, because a lot of my thoughts and feelings were just made me feel really ashamed. Like, I just felt things like, I mean, I don't even want to say them. I don't want to say them because I still feel like the world isn't ready. Nobody is ready for, like, a lot of my thoughts and feelings, because people just don't know enough. They don't know enough about my world, what I grew up in. And when I first left the Orthodox Jewish community, so I became friends with a lot of people that were very excited and interested to hear my perspective as a person who left the Orthodox Jewish community. They were very open and warm and welcoming to the things that I had to say about my complaints about the religious community that I left from. And that was really, really validating. That was really nice to be able to talk about the things that really bothered me about being in the Jewish community at large, and then also specifically the Orthodox Jewish community. The problem with that were that those people they also didn't understand the community that I was from. And the reason why they were validating me was, it was just very different than the reasons that I had. They also didn't fully understand me. They were not, you know, they had never been exposed to Jews, a lot of them. The way that a lot of them perceived Jews in general from, like, a very fearful, brainwashed standpoint. Like, they didn't understand Jews. They were just, like, they heard about Jews on the internet. They believed conspiracy theories. They believed weird stuff about Jews that were, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, people were just weird. In that group of friends, I felt like I could never tell if people were my friend or if they just, like, a lot of them were just, I felt like a lot of those people were only able to validate me from, like, a very, very specific perspective that they came from, which was that they hate Jews. And I didn't hate Jews. Like, I don't really hate anybody. I was just angry and resentful of the community that I grew up in. You know, it's kind of like when you are trying to rebel against your parents and then you become friends with people that, like, hate your parents. And then after a while you're like, you know, I got my validation, but I also now that I got my validation, I kind of don't want to, like, stick around with you guys anymore, because you guys are coming from a different place than me. You know, maybe the reason why you hate my parents is very different than the reason I hate my parents. And, you know, yeah. So, and, like, the same reason why, and then I also felt like I couldn't really relate to a lot of the people that were in those circles. A lot of them viewed Jews as being things that weren't true. Like I just eventually I just couldn't relate to a lot of people in that world. And I really started to disrespect them, and I started to resent those people. I just started to see them as being kind of stupid and not really going very far in life. And I wanted to go farther in life than the Jewish community too. You know, when I left the Jewish community, I wanted to be really wealthy and prosperous much more than the Jewish community. My goal was not to end up being around people that were less prosperous. My goal was to end up with people that were more prosperous, that were more powerful than the community I left from. And that was really hard to find. Anyways, I'm totally rambling, but I just had a lot of, and I still do, like, I have a lot of guilt about thinking things differently than the people that are around me, the community that I'm around, or whatever. And so my instinct has always been, whenever I disagree with you, if it gets to the point where I ever have to choose between, like, the things that I think versus the things that you think, obviously I'm going to choose what I think because I'm me. And if I don't feel like I can do that when you're around, the only choice that I feel like I have is to totally just not have you around. And, you know, like, the thing that I get is always like, well, Pardes, you've done this to so many people in your life. You know, Andrew, sometimes, you know, we talk about it, or, you know, with other friends. Well, Pardes, you've done this so many times in your life where you, instead of just standing up for your beliefs and the things that you want to say and think, you just totally cut ties with the person because you literally just can't be around them and the things that they think being different. And it's a problem per se, but, like, at the same time, I literally can't. I feel like I've been subconsciously conditioned to be so, and maybe in childhood, maybe in a community, one of the communities I was in, like, I've just been subconsciously conditioned to comply. I've been conditioned to comply so easily so that when I'm around people that think differently than me, or that think that I should be a certain way, I literally, my body cannot be the way that I want around those people. I literally cannot. And that's where the problem comes. And it's like, well, Pardes, you should push back. I literally cannot. I can't. My defenses completely go down, you know? And so there's so many times when Andrew, when I first met Andrew, there were so many people in his life that were like, for some reason, his employees, his friends, his family members, that had an issue with me. They either read something online that I said, you know, they didn't know me personally, but, like, they were scared of me. They were like, they're scared that Andrew was dating me, and they immediately started to go on offense. They immediately were like, oh, Andrew, you're you know, this person is crazy, this person this and that. And my reaction was never to assert myself and to fight back and say, no, that's not how I am. My reaction was always to quietly break up with him every single time. I always would, you know, because I just couldn't see myself as existing in a world where people that care about Andrew think this way, and then him still being able to date me in another way. You know what I mean? And I certainly couldn't be around those people or risk having to ever interact with those people because, like, they were so offensive to me. They were so on offense, like, you can't be this way and date the person that we know and love, which is Andrew. So I just couldn't. I mean, my nature is to comply, and I don't want to offend anybody or hurt anybody. So if I think that it hurts you, if I'm dating somebody that you love and care about, and not only that, like, some of those people went on offense. They started attacking me online. And it was like, oh my gosh, like, I don't want to have beef with total strangers that I don't know, let alone people in my personal life. I don't like having beef with people. And so I would break up with him. And, you know, I think for another person, the instinct would have been to fight back, you know, but I just don't want to fight with people. I don't like fighting with people. I have more things that I want to do in my life rather than get down in the mud with total strangers, let alone with family members or people in my life. So I'm getting to the point where I'm realizing that this instinct I have, which is to run away whenever there's a problem because I don't want to have a fight with people. I don't want to fight with people in the right-wing political world in America. I don't want to fight with people in the left-wing political world in America. I don't want to fight with poor people. I spent my whole life struggling. I don't want to fight with struggling people. I know how it is. I don't want to fight with people in the Jewish community. I don't want to fight with any of my family members. I don't want to fight with people. I don't want to fight with friends. I don't want to fight with people that believe that, life should be one way or I should be one way and that I want to be a different way. I don't like fighting. I don't want people in my life that need me to fight with them. And so, if I have to choose between having to be in fight mode versus being alone, I will always choose being alone. Always. And I'm getting to the point where I'm about to have a child and I'm realizing, well, are my children going to have to be alone too? And they won't have cousins, they won't have family members to grow up with. And it's just going to be them and their parents out in the world, traveling around different countries. It's fun, but are they never going to have extended family and close friends and stuff because their mom doesn't want to be confrontational, doesn't want to have fights with people? And what I'm realizing is, I've always seen the world as being only two options. I can only exist with people in a fight, or I can exist alone. I've always just seen that. That's kind of been the duality that I've lived my life with. But I'm 31 years old, and I'm realizing, what if there's a reality in which I could be my full self around people and be a drop intimidating to where I don't have to fight with anybody because people just instinctively already can see where I'm at and don't even want to mess with it. They're just happy that I'm there, and they're happy to be there, to be who they are. So they're happy that I'm who I am, they are who they are, and there is no question of boundaries. So it is really a boundary issue. What if there's a world where it's so open and clear who I am in the moment, what I'm feeling in the moment, what I'm saying in the moment? It's just so clear. My energy of where I'm at mentally and who I am, energetically, spiritually, whatever. It's just so loud and clear. I'm literally wearing it on my clothing. It's so clear that I don't have to fight with anybody about it, because immediately when you hear my name, when you see me, when you watch my videos, you immediately see it, and there is no confusion. There's no room for confusion or question or fighting, because it's just so obvious, and then you can just take it or leave it. And that way, I don't have to be alone, and my family doesn't have to be alone. My children don't have to be alone, because we can hang out with our siblings easily. We can hang out with extended family. We can hang out with whoever from Andrew's family or friends wants to hang out with us. We can hang out with people that we meet. And there doesn't have to be this fear of confrontation or fear of boundaries, because the boundaries are just so clear. It's so clear who I am. I'm just yelling my opinions from the rooftop without fear, without shame or guilt, just yelling it. I hate these people. I like these people. I like this. I like that. I hate this. I hate that. And then my opinions might change tomorrow, but I still feel comfortable and safe and proud to say it, because that's just me feeling so proud to be whatever I am. And what if I'm just acting like that? And because there's just absolutely no question on where I stand at any given moment, there is no need to fight. There is no need for confrontation. There is no reason to try to get in the weeds with me about it, because there's no point, because it's just so clear that I'm so proud and unbothered by what I'm feeling and thinking at any given moment that you just take it or leave it. And if it bothers you, you go somewhere else. So what if I created a scenario for myself where instead of me having to isolate constantly and run and, you know, step out of the scene to like avoid people feeling discomfort, what if other people just stepped out of the scene themselves so that they can avoid my feeling discomfort? What if I created a situation where people become afraid to cause me discomfort instead of me feeling afraid to cause them discomfort? What if, and I'm not saying this to like dunk on my siblings. I'm just using my siblings as an example because I actually want to have a close relationship with them. And I'm thinking about this because we're about to go hang out with them after many years of me not seeing them. What if instead of me avoiding my siblings or my family members for years and years and years because I'm afraid that the way I am or the things that I do and think and feel and the life that I'm living might cause them discomfort? What if instead of that, they avoided me because whenever they felt like, oh, our lifestyle or the things that we think and feel might cause Pardes discomfort? What if I lived like that? And that way it gives other people the choice whether to engage or not to engage. And it also gives me the ability to relax and spend time around people without fear. Because the boundaries have changed. It has changed, but it has changed from, oh, I'm going to move with your emotions and I'm going to like accommodate you no matter what you do. And if you feel discomfort or you feel loud enough, you scare me away loud enough, I'm going to run. It has changed to, I'm just going to be whatever I am. No matter what you say, I'm just going to keep being whatever I am. And I won't even feel remorse about it. I'm just going to keep thinking and feeling the way I am. So it's really just up to you to leave the scene if that makes you uncomfortable, or to stay and just shut up and just let me be whatever I'm going to be and think whatever I think. So I'm just getting to this point where I'm realizing this. And the relative that I was talking to, my relative that I was talking to, made me realize, like, what if by being my loudest and proudest self and by unapologetically accepting the things that I feel and think at any given moment, what if I'm doing other people a favor? Because they don't have to guess. It takes the guesswork away from them. And it allows them to think and feel what they think and feel in the moment. And it also allows them to know and to not be afraid. You know, like, I feel like when I met Andrew, I was probably so, Andrew and I come from such different worlds. It's actually crazy. Like, I can't even tell you guys how different Andrew and I's background are. Like, it's actually, we have some similarities, but like mostly we are so different. We come from a very different background. And the paradigms that we come from, the things that we worried about in our lives were so different growing up. When Andrew told people in his life about me, the reaction that a lot of them had was fear. Like, they were like, a lot of them were fearful because they had never been around anyone like me. And actually the same thing with me. Like, I wasn't really close with my family members and friends and stuff, but like, I felt very fearful of Andrew and Andrew's back. So I feel like a lot of the people in Andrew's life were guessing. Like, they were trying to figure out who I was. And I did this with Andrew also because I was terrified of him. And they were, trying to figure out who the other person is. And wherever there was gaps in information because we didn't understand, there were like assumptions that were made. Like, oh my gosh, this person's going to hurt me. This person's going to do this to me. This person's going to think this of me and this and that. And what I realized over the years of getting to know him was like, wow, the more I know, the less scary things are and the more I'm able to act accordingly. And like, when you are your loudest, proudest, most honest version of yourself, you take a lot of the guesswork away from people, you just make it, you're doing other people a favor. Really, you're doing yourself a favor, because you are creating an energy of F around and find out. I'm trying not to get demonetized. So you're creating this like energy of, don't bother saying your opinions. Don't bother messing with me. Don't bother trying to like mess with whatever I'm doing here. So you create that kind of aura, which obviously helps you. It helps you be healthier, loud, proud, accomplish your life purpose and do everything you want to do. But it helps the other person, because it really takes away a lot of the guesswork, a lot of the stress for those people, because they don't have to worry like, who is this person? What are they up to? They're kind of sneaky. And I feel like when I was in the political world and a lot of like the people that I became friends with, I feel like I was too quiet. I was too mysterious. I wasn't trying to be mysterious. I was just, kind of meek and scared to be my fullest self. And I think because I was so different, I was like crawling out from under a rock, which was the Frum Jewish community. And even in the Jewish community, I was weird, because, Iranian Jewish, which is like an even smaller community in the Frum Orthodox community, which if you're an Iranian Jew that is in that community specifically, you know what I'm talking about. Haredi, Iranian Jewish. There isn't a lot of us it might feel like that when you're in it, but like, really, when you get out in the world, we are a weird anomaly of people. We might as well actually have horns. And what I discovered is that some people actually believe that we have horns, because we are so effing weird and different. And so at any time that I was not myself, that I was trying to mold myself to my environment, and I was doing that thinking, or maybe unconsciously thinking, that I'm helping other people by like bending to their will, or like by accommodating their preferences or their thoughts and feelings of what it is. But really what I was doing was I was inserting more fear into those people's lives, because they were having to guess and fill in the blanks of what was going on, because they had never met anyone like me. And it's not because they were ignorant. It was because 99.999% of the world has literally never met anybody like you. And it's true for a lot of people. Like, most people in the world have never met anybody like you. They don't understand your worldview. They don't understand where you're from. Especially if you're from a world where you grew up not being connected to the internet, or you grew up speaking a different language, being exposed to like a totally different paradigm. Your family is immigrants. You are very religious to the point where you live like such a different, crazy, weird, culty lifestyle. Whatever the reason is, like, if you are different and you end up in a group of people and you're just being quiet and humble and trying to like accommodate the feelings and sensitivities of other people all the time, you might think that you're doing everybody else a favor. But what you might be doing, in addition to hurting yourself, is you might actually be causing those people to become fearful. People literally thought that I was working for Mossad or CIA or working for the feds. And then I dated Andrew, and then a lot of people were like, oh my gosh, like, for sure she's been doing this the whole time. She's been spying on us. We knew something shady was up. And I acted shady by not being my full self. And you know what? Those people were not stupid to think that, because DC was full of spies and full of people that were working, doing shady things, not just working for the government, working for all kinds of weird, shady stuff. People like that were attracted to DC, which is where I spent a big chunk of like my political time. So like, when you are your proudest, fullest, most unapologetic self, if you have depression, you want to know something, like, it's really hard, it's really, really tempting to believe that people will never enjoy your full, true self. It's really, really hard to believe that if you were your most unapologetic, authentic, most proud of self, that everybody would be bothered by it and that you would be hurting everybody. It's really easy to believe that. It's really hard to believe that your true unapologetic self is positive for anybody. But just think about the most popular people in media right now. Like, just think about like the most popular influencers, people that go viral regularly. Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate, what's that guy, the anti-prophet? Like, I don't remember. Like, there's so many people that go viral. Candace Owens, they go viral all the time. And what those people go viral for saying, they're not usually going viral for saying, oh, life is dandy, I love life, ha ha ha. No, they go viral for like saying their most angry, resentful, negative feelings and opinions. That's what people go viral for. Why? Why do people go viral for saying negative things? Things that are like ugly. And sometimes they're totally wrong. Sometimes they're just really like, oh, like who told you that? That's so like, that's such nonsense. But people go viral because oftentimes when you are being your most unapologetic, unfettered, craziest self, you're giving other people a chance to feel those things vicariously through you that need to feel those things. Because we all, like I said, in order to be healthy, in order to like be prosperous, in order to not have chronic diseases in your body, you need to feel through your pain, your negative feeling. I really love that a lot of people are waking up to this nowadays, but it's not happening fast enough. Like more people, I think, deserve to know this, that like a lot of our chronic health issues, a lot of like problems with your health and with prosperity nowadays comes from the fact that there's feelings in your body that you have been suppressing. It needs to be felt through. It needs to not be hidden. And that's why a lot of us need those negative viral influencers. We need those people because they feel our negative feelings for us, because we have not allowed ourselves to feel those things. And the more repressed society becomes, the more people medicate themselves, hide their feelings because of whatever corporate environment or whatever religious setting or whatever they were part of. The more you repress yourself, the more virulent and negative the influencers that pop up in society are going to be, because that's what people need. And when you allow yourself to be your full negative, crazy version of yourself, what you're doing is you're removing the need for people to have medications and things that block their feelings. You're allowing people to feel their feelings. You're allowing and you're removing their need for like the crazy other viral influencers. You're giving people an outlet to be themselves as well. Andrew and I, sometimes at our fitness club, we go to the sauna, and there's always like a guy who's there in the evenings that we became friends with, and he is like, it's really funny every time we see him and we're like, hey, like, how are you doing? And he always replies with something really negative and like nihilistic, like, at least I will die. Or like he's like Slavic, so he'll say it in like a really funny Slavic accent. He'd be like, oh, like how is Christmas? And he'll be like, Christmas means nothing when there is war in the world. And like, you know, he'll just talk about like war and pain and suffering, and like, you know, he's just so, and with everything he has like a quick negative response. Like, you know, he's just so negative all the time. And it's not like, you know, I don't feel like he wants me to be negative. I don't feel like he's imposing any of it on me. It's not like we see this guy all day. It's just when we go to the sauna, there's a mosquito. And you would think that it would make us feel negative, but for me, like, I feel very positive whenever I go to the sauna and we see this guy, because like I feel like it's comic relief, but it's also like a vicarious release of feelings. Like when he is negative and is his full negative self and is like, ugh, life is pain. That makes me able to feel that too, my pain. It makes me able to feel my pain and not to feel ashamed about it and not to feel like I have to hide it in front of people. You know, because I feel like with most people, I feel like I see them and I have to smile. And it was like this in the religious community too, where like people are like, how are you? And then I have to respond, I'm doing great, even though I didn't feel great. And when you meet someone that you're like, how are you? And they're like, I am not good. Life sucks. When they respond negatively, it takes some of the pressure off to smile and pretend like everything is good. Because everything is not good. Especially now. Everything is not good. It's not good. And you're human. So even if everything was good, you're still going to have your bad days. You're going to have your up and down days. And if you don't have anybody around you to be the crazy negative person that you can feel along with, that can be like an empathetic companion to your negative feelings, you're going to feel really alone in the world and maybe depressed and suicidal. So just consider this your sign to be as negative as you want, or as crazy as you want, or as whatever thing that you feel ashamed to be. Just be it. And don't care. And I'm telling this to myself. Don't be misled into thinking that you are hurting people by being that. It's not your responsibility, first of all, to make other people feel good or not good with the way you think and feel. But second of all, there's going to be people that will really, 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 really appreciate that will never even tell you. Some people will tell you, but there's going to be people that will never even tell you. You'll never know. Like that guy in the sauna will never know how much he lightens up people's mood when he is just grumpy in the sauna. You know? He'll never know that he gives people energy and made people laugh when he did that, when made people feel happy inside because they felt relieved when he mirrored some of their internal feelings. You'll never know. But I'll tell you, you're helping people by releasing your feelings, by crying, laughing, being angry, having your opinions, even if your opinions change from one second to another, even if your opinions are wrong, even if you are just speaking out of your ass, you're helping people. You're good for the world. And even if you're not helping people, you're good for the world. And so just know that. And this is what I'm telling myself these days. So I hope that was helpful, and hope you guys have a great day. And read my book, House Hackers Anonymous, if you haven't already, because if you're in survival mode in any way, there's like so many, everything that I know about getting out of survival mode financially, becoming financially free, whatever, it's all in that book. It's in audiobook format. It's in like print. It's everything I know. And I hope it helps some of you guys. And even if it doesn't really apply to your life personally, I hope it gives you at least some ideas on how to get out of the rat race, which is mostly right now in the States. So anyways, see you guys in the next video. Bye.